Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo! Good morning, guys. 17K. Boom! Alright. What next now? Might surprise you. Let's jump on in. Good morning, guys. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I was running a little late this morning, so I'm only on coffee number 2 this morning. It's very sad, actually. Very sad that we're only on coffee number 2. The Bitcoin price looking a little sad as well, at least for the little bull bears out there. I see for the bulls. Bull bears. I guess the bull bears are bulls too. They're just bears at the current moment. Let me know what you are, guys. Are you a bull bear, a bear, or a crab? Let me know. Let me know. I think I'm a crab at the current moment. I am definitely a crab. We're just kind of playing the ranges here. What's going on, Keith? Tizan, Bam Bam, Johnny, Advert. Drew said, are we going to 0? No, sir. We are going to 1 cent. Okay? That's where we're going to. I'm going to try not to slurp today because in the comments section in the last morning stream, everyone was saying, George, stop slurping. So today we're not slurping. I don't know if you guys are trolling me with the slurps, but you guys are kind of trolling me with the slurps. Anyways, so another guys, we've been I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we've been calling these levels to an absolute T lately. Oh my Lord. Listen, like it is what it is. Sometimes you're getting a little hot streak, but wow, lately we've been killing it. Anyways, we were bullish here. We got up to 18.5. We said 18.5 is when we are going to come back down. We came right to 17K, which we said last night. That's where I think Bitcoin's going to get a bounce. And so far, we've got a bounce from 17K. So far, so freaking good. Now, you guys might be saying, Drew, why the hell would you think we bounce right now? Do you see the stock market? The stock market's getting absolutely crushed. There's no chance that Bitcoin's going to bounce. Do you see the DXY? The DXY's starting to come up. There's no chance that Bitcoin's going to get a bounce.
Rant alert.
Well, we will see. We will see, my friends. Let's talk about why I think Bitcoin can get a short-term bounce here. I don't think that Bitcoin, I've sort of been saying this, guys. I don't think Bitcoin, this is my personal opinion, unless we get some crazy shit that happens, like where Binance all of a sudden goes under, which everyone is starting this Binance FUD. This Binance FUD is absolutely ridiculous. They've shown their proof of reserves. Okay, everyone right now is just in super negative Nancy mode, and you just want to start drama with anything they could find just to feel a little bit of life. And that's not the way to find life. You know, it just to talk about negativity is not the way to live life, and that's not how you're going to find life. That's actually going to make you more negative and more lifeless. But hey, it is what it is. I get your money off exchanges, okay, and you don't have to worry about this shit. Could that affect price? Yeah, but I think that's me personally. I think that's a little bit ridiculous at this point. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about any more about that because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But hey, it is what it is. People will find anything to talk about right now. Anything. People will say that they have Satoshi locked up in their closet just to start some drama. You know, I bet that's going to be the next one. All of a sudden, you got these guys saying that they got Satoshi locked up just for some clicks. You can't make this shit up. Anyways, let's all get on in. Fun is unreal on Twitter nowadays. Oh yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They come up with something new every single day, man. I'm just over here being Jolly Santa Claus. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know. But anyways, where are we at for BTC? I'm looking for a short-term little move up to the upside. Very, very simple. I mean, this is a pretty simple level, right? I mean, it's where we've gotten a few bounces from the past, right? We've gotten a little bit of a short-term bounce up to the upside here. We got a slight deviation. We got a nice little bounce here. We got a nice bounce here. So I'm just looking at this as a very basic, strong support level for Bitcoin. You might be saying support's a meme, all this stuff. Okay, we'll see. You let me know where we're at in a few hours, all right? I love being a troll. But also, not only that, and if it was just that, I would say, it ain't a big level for Bitcoin. Well, I also look down here, and I actually take a little bit of a Fibonacci. So I'm a big fan of the 0.5 retracement on the Fibonacci level. That usually ends up being the midpoint of a range. Right? Where do we find Bitcoin right now? From swing low to swing high, we find ourselves Bitcoin not only getting a bounce off that previous support level and previous resistance that we sort of held as resistance and support multiple times, but we also find ourselves, if we zoom in here, at that 0.5 retracement as well. So a lot of confluence coming out in this area. I'm looking for a bounce back up. You guys do what you want to do. I always like to say, you know, if you like to come on here and counter trade me, I would love if you did that. Go ahead. I would love if you did it. And it makes it a little bit more fun when you guys do it, to be honest. I love it. But I'm looking for Bitcoin to get a bounce. Now, I'm not looking for no big bounce. I'm looking for a little Bertha, right? Not a big Bertha. We ain't looking for that bounce up to 18.5 or 19K or any shit like that. I'm looking for a little eeny little ant move to the upside, but a move to the upside nonetheless. I'm looking for somewhere around 17,300 to 17,400 is where I'm looking. Not a massive move, but enough to scare the bears a little bit and say, oh shit, I mean, is Bitcoin going to go back up to the upside? Just enough to scare the bears a little bit. And then I think that we most likely just come back down and we stay in this damn range for, like I said, I don't expect any major moves until the end of January. That's my take. Take it as it is. I'm going into the holidays with the assumption that Bitcoin ain't going to do shit. All right? But I am looking for a little bit of a bounce here. Just a pretty logical level. I'm not going to confuse you guys with this indicator and that indicator and this open and that open. No, we're just going to play support levels and Fibonacci retracements. We're not doing anything crazy here. Let me take a sip of coffee, by the way. Teju said, so a pump for ants? Yes, a pump for ants. Just to take out the late shorts. That's why the title of this stream is Bitcoin Short-Term Bounce. Very, very short-term. Very, very short-term. If for whatever reason Bitcoin can crack above 17,400, if there's any way Bitcoin can do it, and the only way it's going to do it is the stock market gets somehow, some way, finds some life. Because the stock market ain't looking pretty right now, guys. I still am a little bit worried about the stock market here. But if Bitcoin get back up 17,400, you might be looking at a little bit of this just being a big bear trap and a possible move up higher. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. I think we're getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves if we want to talk about anything higher than 17,400 at the moment. Let's let that play out. But that's the level I'm looking at next. Drew said they have shown their reserves, but they also haven't shared their liabilities. Very true. Very, very, very freaking true. I would say just get your money off exchanges, man, and then you don't have to. I mean, I know it's easy to say you don't have to worry about it because if Binance went down, that would be a absolute catastrophic event. That would be absolutely massive. But as far as keeping your crypto safe, just get your money off exchanges, and then at least you have it. At least you don't have to worry about them going down. As far as price, yeah, that could tank the price for sure. For sure. But you got to understand, and what I always like to say is this. After a year of downside, people are going to be so negative. Everyone's just going to be spreading any type of negativity. Last week it was Tether. Now everyone seems to move on from Tether, right? This is how it works. This is how it works. Last week everyone was like, "Oh, Tether's going to get destroyed, man. Tether's going to get destroyed." That didn't work, at least now. So now everyone's moving on to Binance. Now everyone's going to test Binance. Oh, Binance is going to go down, man. Binance is going to go down. And if that doesn't work this week, next week it's going to be something else. It's never going to be positive down here. We are in the deep, deep depths of the crypto abyss. It's just going to be FUD. It's just going to be scams, Ponzi's. Those are the words that are going to be used, unfortunately, probably for the next year, most likely. So that's about where we're at least until the price goes up. We know how the market works. As long as the price is low, everything is a Ponzi and a scam. As soon as the price starts to go up a little bit, everyone thinks crypto is the greatest thing in the world. That's human emotion for you. So we shall wait for that. But FUD is FUD. I'm not going to add into this, man. I like crypto. That's the best comment that we've ever gotten in chat. I like crypto. You know what I mean? And I look at all these other channels and they're just like, they say they like to grow the crypto space and they say they like to spread positivity and get people to come in. You talking about all this shit 24/7 ain't gonna want to get people to come into the space, man. It's ridiculous. It's so counterintuitive. And I hope that people remember who was sort of positive in the bear market and who was just, I don't want to spray, because sometimes I don't want to spray just a constant negative Nancy, but I guess I say a constant negative Nancy. No. Anyways, let me take a sip. Beautiful. Crypto arbitrage. What's up, man? Don't start with the L's. Crypto arbitrage. I blocked you from saying anything. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. FTX went down in one weekend. Just saying. Very true. Very true. Also, I mean, World War II started in one weekend as well. Just saying too. Anyways, let's move on. Anything can happen, guys. I mean, we can get hit by an asteroid tomorrow. Do we have any idea? No. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's basically looking at for a short-term bounce, bearing anything crazy happening. At the 0.5 retracement, at previous support and resistance levels, very, very simple. We're not going to bring up a bunch of confusing shit on the screen here, which is completely pointless, most things, in my opinion. All right, so a daily time frame. Why is today a big close? Well, look at where Bitcoin's threatening to break. And this is why, this could be a very short-term move in my opinion, because Bitcoin is threatening to break just a simple kind of support level. You know what I mean? We have move up. Okay. Macintosh. He said, "What's up? What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, Macintosh? Good to see you in here, buddy." This is why today could be a big close for Bitcoin. We got a simple trend line moving up. We could be getting that daily close below that trend. And though I'm looking for a short-term move up, I have to say, and we'll get into more of this when we get into the S&P. I have to say that the S&P looks a little bit shady here in the short term, and we've been talking about this the last couple of days. That does not look good. We were even saying it before we got the FOMC meeting, like that you have to respect that as resistance, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. But we are smacking that to the downside. RSI trend line also looking to get a close below here today. If we close anywhere below where we are today. So A closure of anywhere below, you could argue 17,300. Bang, bang, bang. That's the level we're looking at here. A closure below anywhere below 17.3 looks a little bit shady for Bitcoin here in the short term. And to be fair, to me, the most logical scenario for Bitcoin over the course of the next couple weeks is this. And this would be max pain for most people. Why? Because most people are waiting for lower and most people are waiting for higher. This would be max pain. Let's get another little move up, get the bulls excited again. Oh, it was just a dip. Make the bears sweat just a little bit. They got shorts from up here. Make them sweat a little bit. And then we come back down, right? We come back into this range and we do this until the end of January. Maybe we get a little upside move. Woohoo! Bull market. Come back down. Right? Maybe we get a little fake up. Whoa, wick, whoa. And we come back up. and then we sort of, we do our thing up until January. That's my most logical scenario. And I know that's super, super boring. And I know that's not exciting. I know that's not going to get clicks, right? What gets clicks? What gets clicks on YouTube? Okay? Saying that Bitcoin's going into a bull market right now. Or saying that Bitcoin's going to 10K tomorrow. Those get the clicks, okay? But if you want me to lie to you guys, I think it's more likely that we see crab for at least the next 2 months. And I think the CPI print is going to be the next big catalyst coming up in January. Just my take, but we sort of go from there. I would race that track. Nice, man. Would you? B-Money said 19.5. B-Money. I'm hoping, man. But I'm gonna stick with my gut, which tells me more sideways for a little bit more time capitulation. Crypto needs a little bit more time capitulation. Just if Bitcoin just chills at the lows, right? I've sort of said this. You guys remember how doomy and gloomy the crypto market was right here? Right here. I would argue that right here was more doomy and gloomy than down here. Down here was just FUD central, right? But up over here was just depression, miserable, bored people. I would argue that if Bitcoin comes back down here again, which I think is the more likely scenario at this point, and just does this for another 2 months, I would argue people would go absolutely insane, probably including myself. But I would argue people will go insane if this happens. Because going sideways is the worst. People want 14K. People want 18K. People want 20K. People don't want 17K, 16K. People are bored of 16K and 17K. Let it go sideways for a little bit more. Let it kind of just do this. Maybe you get a little move to the upside. Maybe you get a little move to the downside. Cool. But you mostly just stay in this range for another 2 months. And you guys know why I think 2 months. You guys know why. I'm looking at basically a little bit of a correlation of when the bear market support band comes down. Okay. It should reach about 18.5 by the middle of January. And we also have, how long does it take to usually get back above that? It usually takes +5 every single halving. So this time I'm expecting 64. That is the middle to end of January, right? So that's why I think that. And I think that would be absolute pain. Pain. For all the bears wanting 14K and all the bulls wanting 20K, Pain. Miserable. Bored ass people. Just like the last 6 months. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for FTX, if it wasn't for the FTX dump, Bitcoin hasn't done shit in 6 months. You erase this dump right here, what has Bitcoin done since June? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, we've had pumps. Yeah, we've had dumps. But we've done absolutely nothing since June, my guys. We've got maybe 20% moves to the upside, 20% move to the downside. But what's 20% in crypto? We laugh at 20% over here. Now we take 20% and it's like, oh my God, we're in a bull market or in a bear market, intraday. It's crazy. So it's about where we're at. I would say, my point still stands. I do expect, chop suey, this comes down, maybe at that point we get back over it, we continue to build a base, and maybe before then you get a little dip to 14K or 13K or something. I'm not going to rule that out either, but I think for us to get below 14K, it's going to take something big. Everyone's saying it's going to be Tether or Binance or something like that. If that happens, good luck. That'll definitely be the catalyst to get us below 13K. But as everything stands now, I think it's more likely we just go sideways. BTC would have dropped anyway without FTX. I disagree with that. Bitcoin, this whole bear market has been exactly correlated to the stock market. This dump right here was the only time that Bitcoin was not so much correlated to the stock market. When the stock market went up during that time frame. That's a perfect segue to the stock market, right? So when Bitcoin, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but when Bitcoin had this little bit of the FTX drop, right, from the 5th of November down to the 11th of November, or the 8th of November, Bitcoin dropped approximately 27%. In that time frame, the S&P, let's see, November, the 6th of November, in that time frame, actually right here, yeah, the S&P actually went up 7% and Bitcoin dropped 27%. That really hasn't happened in this market. I mean, it's mostly been one-to-one correlated. I would argue if that didn't happen, yes, it would have to happen eventually because they were doing scams, right? But if you take them away, I would argue Bitcoin would be at a relatively higher price at the moment. I would definitely argue. Now, I'm happy that they got rinsed out at this point. You know, it's better to do it now than in the middle of a bull market that gets wrecked when you figure out there's a scam in crypto and everything starts coming down, no? So, but this chart right here is the one that makes me uber bearish, right? For sort of, I guess not uber bearish, but very cautious, right? Not moon boyish. Definitely not moon boyish. This chart right here. And there's multiple things about this chart that make me a little bit bearish. Right? It's not just the rejection of the trend line. Okay, anybody can draw a trend line and say, okay, look, we got a rejection from the trend line. It is what it is. It's the break from the trend line. It's the break from the neckline. Okay, closure below the neckline. And it's also what we've done. Listen, I don't make the rules. I just show you guys the chart. It's also what we've done every single time in one of these massive sort of recessionary periods, right? Right here is 2008. All right, this is 2000 actually. Right here is 2000. This is where we're at right here. We had a chance to decorrelate, but instead, now we're kind of correlating with that again. We bring up 2000. Where are we at? Oh, look. We're right here. And we had a chance to decorrelate, but instead we decided to correlate with it. We're right here, by the way. Let's bring up 1976. Where are we at? Where are we at on 1976? I'm putting it from the apps. You've had a little peaks, but these are sort of the secondary peaks. But they all kind of match up. Where are we at? Right here. And I guess I'm just looking at this from what's happened in the past. This is a very different market, I do want to say, because I kind of feel like I'm repeating myself every day, which I kind of am. But I mean, it's I guess I kind of have to. This market is different because the Fed hasn't pivoted yet. Whereas in all these other times, the Fed pivoted up here, which sort of caused the absolute massive dump in the first place. Now the S&P's already dropped 30% without the Fed already pivoting. Could that mean you get a worse dump? Or could that mean that the dump is already happening when the Fed pivots, everyone's expecting a dump this time? Because every single time when the Fed pivots in the past, we get a dump. So everyone's expecting it this time. So everyone sells into the Fed pivot. And the opposite happens this time. No one has any idea. Okay? All I know is the market usually dumps when the Fed pivots. That could mean that's, like we said, it ends up being a sell the rumor by the news, or it ends up being the same as it always does. What I'll argue, though, is kind of the same shit is inflation also has peaked, right? At least at now. Inflation also has peaked. And if you go back to 1976, at least, the bottom was when inflation peaked. So far, that's been the bottom in June in the stock market. So let's see. 2023, one way or the other, is going to make or break a lot of dreams. It's going to make or break a lot of dreams. Which side are you going to be on? Let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got. What do you guys think? You guys think 2020? Let me ask you guys in the chat. Do you guys think 2023 is going to be a nice year, is going to be a sideways year, or is going to be a horrible year. As far as, let's say, as far as the stock markets and crypto, what do you think? Let me know. Let me know. Wayne said, I like to see all the scammers flushed out right now so we can move on. Yeah, I would generally agree. It's just that you never know, man. You never know, because think about it. In 2018, you had all these guys still in the market, but then the markets, when Bitcoin went from 20K to 3K in 2018, you probably thought you had all these guys out, but you didn't. You know what I mean? So, you probably go up again with money that shouldn't be in the market being in the market. You know what I mean? But we'll find out. We'll find out. Let me get rid of all these, by the way. So the S&P, I guess, I have to say, kind of looks a little bit shady at the moment. We'll play it year by year. I think the best case scenario is it kind of finds a higher low somewhere in here. And I'm hoping that the next CPI print can be that catalyst. So from now to the next CPI print, do we come down a little bit more? I think so. It makes sense. Do we come back down? We come like this. We come back down. We try to hold this low into the sort of end of January. We get a good CPI print. Okay, that can cause a little bit of a catalyst back up, and then we try again. This is the more common scenario, just like Bitcoin, right? Sideways / slightly down for the next month. So this is basically what I see for the stock market too. Very, very basically.
Nothing has changed.
Let me see what you guys said in here. Drop sideways. 2023 will be smart money year. I'm rolling the dice, going to be in it to win it. Why would a pivot be negative? A pivot would be negative because people, here's the thing. That's a good question. Why would a pivot be negative? You would think that it would be positive, right? It would be a sign of a flip. The reason why it would be negative is because people think that just because you pivot, it means it's going to change everything. But people don't realize that when the Fed pivots, it's because they normally are having to pivot because the economy is so bad, right? So you got to think about it that way. So that's why you usually see a dump at the Fed pivot, because that's usually when you're in a recession, okay, and the market's doing so bad that the Fed's like, shit, man, we got to start printing money again. You know what I mean? So you got to sort of think of it from that aspect, right? So I hope that kind of makes sense. It's very basic view of it, but basically the Fed has to start to say, shit, man, we got to print money because the economy's so bad. The interest rates are absolutely destroying the economy right now. We gotta cut these shits, and we gotta start getting back to printing money. When do they do that? Who God knows. Powell doesn't even know at this point. Now, he probably does. If I had to guess, like I said, 25 basis points in February. And then my take is that they actually hold it there into March. I think March they stop, but I don't think that they decrease until at least late 2023, early 2024. Based off the research that I've done. And I listen to a bunch of shit every single day about this shit, So, but that's assuming that CPI keeps coming down month over month. If CPI in January is lower, February is lower, March is lower by a good amount, like this month, then I think they stop in March. Just my take. You guys can hate me for it. It is what it is. Doesn't mean the market's going to go nuts, but that's about where we're at. All right. Let's look at the DXY. So the DXY also looks pretty bullish right now. I would say this also goes into the narrative where the markets ain't looking too great. Okay, maybe a little short-term move up for Bitcoin. Okay, whatever. Does that mean anything in the grand scheme of things? No. I'm still, like I've kind of been saying, I'm still a little bit hesitant on being too enthusiastic about the market at the moment. DXY, big falling wedge, kind of closely came back down to 103.50. And this looks like it wants to get a move up to the upside as well. So everything's kind of pointing in the same direction to me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to make these clickbait thumbnails that sort of tell you guys that we're going to the moon, but I guess that's about where we're at. We sort of waiting for this move up for the DXY, and That would be the point where Bitcoin probably comes in, settles. The DXY probably gets a little bit higher there. Probably makes its way back up here, kind of settles in here for a little bit until the next CPI. At a very basic level. So that's about where we're at in the DXY. I don't see why this looks. I don't see why this wouldn't get a bounce here. Right? Look left. What do we got? Look at these two previous peaks. 2017 and 2020. Right? 2017, 2020. We're right at that level now. I don't see why the DXY wouldn't at least get a short-term bounce from here. So that point kind of remains. That's about where we're at, you know? So let's see what we got. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, by the way. So basically what you're saying is that we should be crab feeding for a couple months. Yeah. It's my take. Some people will say we're gonna dump down to 10K in the next month. Some people will say everyone's bearish, so we're gonna sort of go up to 20K the next month. I don't think we do either. And that's what's gonna piss people off. Because everyone wants it to do one or the other. I don't think we do either, personally. Just like we've done since June. Like I've sort of said, like everyone keeps getting hyped for moves, and I guess I've been guilty of that too. But nothing's happened since June. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. The stock market is pumped. Crypto ain't done shit. You know, if we want to keep it real. All I know is, like I've been saying, time is ticking. Time is a ticking. Now we're going into 2023 in 2 months. Christmas is in 9 days. Can you believe it? But now it's 2023.
2 months?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, man. All right, but here's the thing, guys. Slowly but surely, the halving is coming up, man. And I know a lot of people will say the halving's not going to mean shit this time. That's what people said last time. It's slowly peeping. It's peeping its little head. All right? If you looked at, you know, and it is what it is, it's slowly coming. And it's not just the halving. It's also the point where the Fed, if inflation starts coming down, is starting to do lower interest rates. All right, so we're going in the right direction. And I will remind you guys, it's not about where the market is. It's about where the market It's about where the market expects to be. Okay, so the more time goes on, the more inflation comes down, the more positive the market's going to be over time. Doesn't mean it's going to happen now, but things are trending in the right direction, in my opinion. Now, this is accumulation zone. Like I've always said, we did a poll yesterday, and that was very telling to me. We asked, when did you guys buy your first Bitcoin? Okay. It was pretty even up to a certain point, right? It was about 35% in 2021, understandable. It was about, I think it was like 30% in 2020, understandable. It was about, I think it was it was around 25% 2020 or before, or sorry, 2019 or before. I guess that kind of understandable too. It was less than 10% in 2022. That is the most telling thing to me. Why is that the most telling? Because it's just another example that everyone wants to buy up here, but no one wants to buy down here. This year, I'm telling you, okay, this year is going to be an exciting year for a lot of people looking back. And even if you are accumulating down here, whoever low it goes, right? At this point, guys, I told you, I don't care about how low it goes. I just care about getting through this freaking year. Just get me through 2023. I don't care if Bitcoin drops to 10K, 8K, 6K. At this point, I ain't selling any of it. It is what it is. Just get me through this year. I'm going to be mad at myself for not buying more at these levels. I already know. Even if Bitcoin does this all year, gets a wick down to 10K or something, hangs down here for a little bit, comes back up. When Bitcoin's up here in 2024, 2025, I'm not going to give two flying Fs if I bought down here or right here, because most people won't buy down here anyway. Just like the poll, when you buy your first crypto, only like 8% of people did in 2022. It's going to be even less than that in a few months. And sort of get me through this year. Because even if I take this whole year to accumulate, I'm going to be kicking myself that I didn't do more. Just my take. And this is sort of like a journal to myself. I want to look back at this in 2024 and say, Jordan, why that? Like, you're accumulating, but why the hell did you didn't look at what's happened for Bitcoin every single time and you're brainwashing yourself? I'm going to look back at this in 2 years. This is my journal to myself. Okay, I like doing that. Sometimes I go watch my old 2020 videos and sort of remind myself how I was feeling back then during dumps. And sort of, it's kind of the same emotions, I guess. Especially during the March of 2020 dump. Let's see. You should invest in fart jars, not crypto. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see. Plopped in the toilet, now it's stinking. Some people say that Bitcoin will never make all-time high again. What do you think? I think that's certainly a possibility. That's certainly a possibility. That's why if Bitcoin starts going up again, make sure you take profits before the next all-time high. You know, I don't think that's an unreasonable take. You guys know me. I am not going. Whenever the next bull market happens, I'm not going to be like this. Yeah, I probably act like a moon boy because it's fun, you know. But I will be taking profits all the way up, all the way up. I'm not waiting until Bitcoin hits 69K and all this stuff. I know that's easy to say now, but I've sort of, you know, we've been through that this whole year. We've been through it, right? And if you've been through this bear market this whole year, I think you're going to be a lot smarter on the next move up, right? A lot smarter. I did take some profits at the highs, but I definitely did not play it the smartest way that I could. Definitely for sure. And I think most of us can say that in the chat. So we will be smarter next time, and sort of you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Man, this is hard. I gotta stop slurping. Jordan, stop slurping, man. You little idiot. Stop slurping. We're going to 100K. No, for me personally, the level I've been looking at is about 80K. It's very simple. It's a 1.618 retracement from basically, I mean, it depends on where we bottom, right? The most interesting thing for me is if we take the high to the low, we look at where the 1.618 Fibonacci is. Funny enough, it's almost exactly at 100K. The psychological level of 100K. That's pretty interesting to me. I don't want to call for 100K because that's a little bit ridiculous. Might not sound ridiculous, but to me it is. For me personally, I think it's about 80K, which was, I think, the 4236 from the previous low to the high. But yeah, I could see the scenario where Bitcoin does this, you know, over the wherever it does the next year or so. Comes back up at the halving, blah, blah, blah. You know, sort of comes up to like 80K. Everyone's expected to go to all-time, like absolutely go to the moon. And then it gets slightly above the all-time highs and then comes back down. To me, that's more likely. Because right here, I guess would be max euphoria. Just like right here. You know, who knows? I mean, this is speculating so far into the future. We don't even know what the next year is going to be like. It all depends on where Bitcoin bottoms, in my opinion. If Bitcoin comes down and bottoms at like, let's just do like doomsday scenario. Let's say Bitcoin comes down and bottoms at like 6K or some shit. All right. That would change where it probably tops. And if it bottoms here at 16K, that probably changes what happens, you know? Let's see. Went long at 18,250. Yeah. You went long at 18,250. Oh my God, man. How'd you go long at 18,250? It's gloomy and doomy. Vitalik is depressed. Yes. That is facts. Vitalik is depressed. 1 year in crypto is 10 years in real life. Facts. Facts, DJ. Slowly getting through the bear market, man. Slowly getting through. This stream kind of keeps me sane, I guess. Keeps me sane. Or it makes me insane. One of the two. You know, you never know. You never know. When Bitcoin was 3K, 68K sounded ridiculous too. Oh, facts. Facts, man. There's such a short memory in the space. There is. Yeah, when Bitcoin dropped to 3K in March of 2020, no one thought it was going to 69K. Right? No one thought it was going to 60K. It ended up going to 60K within 9 months. You know what I mean? That's why I keep saying, like, everyone's calling for a super bearish year next year, and certainly it could happen. But what if what if, okay, you get through it, right? Maybe the stock market comes down a little bit more, Bitcoin comes down a little bit more. What if all of a sudden the economy looks like shit, and then the government says, shit, we got to start printing money again? You know what I mean? I'm just putting a what if out there. Most people will be out of position. And that's cool. That's cool. You know, just putting that out there. And usually that type of stuff gets front run, right? The market doesn't wait for it to happen. They sort of price that in ahead of time. But it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to call it a stream here. We've sort of been rambling about nothing here. And Bitcoin, I guess, is kind of holding tight onto 17K. I mean, this is where I'm looking for a bounce. Man, if the Bitcoin doesn't bounce here, that just means it really just wants to dump. But, you know, I'm looking for a short-term bounce. The short-term call has been pretty good lately. I'm looking for like 17.3, 17.4 right here. And then probably just right back into this range again, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't expect too much to happen until January. Yeah, I'm going to sort of just keep saying that and sort of keep convincing myself that nothing's going to happen. But I'm out of here. Peace out. Adios. See you guys at 6:30 p.m. tonight, where we can see where Bitcoin ends up today. Let's see if we get the little short-term bounce or if we just dump straight down. Let's see what we got. All right. Peace out. Later. And stay easy. Stay easy. Take some time off the charts, too. Take some time off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Peace. Soon. Actually, I say soon. At some point, you're going to be staring at charts way too much. You will. You will. Later. Peace.